Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe, like, share, comment. Please be kind with those comments. All right, I'm going to show you how I designed some homecoming custom cutouts in a cheer theme. I'm going to have a few different ones on here, and these are all going to be shared publicly on my profile. I have over 130 designs shared publicly. Now, some of them are like logos and stuff that I uploaded, and so they won't let you, they'll let you look at them, but they won't let you use them. Some things you can do use yourself, but some things they won't. That's not something I can control. That's just Cricut's policy, so I share as much as I can. And I do buy a lot of fonts from Creative Fabrica. So, and then I usually purchase Cricut Access, which is like $10 a month. And like right now, I don't have it. It ran out, and I'm going to wait to renew it until I need it because right now I'm not making anything. So I don't really care about that. And it does, I mean, it gives you a lot more fonts, but it also gives you a lot more images and then some other stuff. I can't remember what all you get with it, but it is worth it for me. It is, as much as I use it. So, you know, if I have stuff saved that's Cricut Access, you have to pay for it. You either have to purchase just that one design or you have to have Cricut Access to use them. So I'm trying to use some free stuff, some free images, some free fonts to give y'all those options as well. So I've got all kinds of different things. So these were I was focusing on free stuff. So you can use what I've already designed, or you can make your own and just use this as a guide on how I did it to get an idea of how to do it. I do this a lot with the purchased fonts and the purchased images and stuff, because you're very limited on the free stuff, on the free fonts and the free image, especially the images. Like when I typed in cheer, there's just very limited that's free. So you got to work with what you got. And I'm going to try this several different ways to see which looks best. And, you know, you may like something different. Like I said, you can use this as a guide to make your own, or you can, more than welcome to use it off my profile. So sometimes, you know, you may need to adjust just the height or just the width. So unlock that and then adjust that. And then I duplicated it so I wouldn't have to resize it. And I'm just moving it around, see what looks best. When you get it where you want it, if you're happy with it, then you want to group it together and then you want to weld it together. See, clicked on weld. Now it's going to be connected. The pom-pom is going to be connected to the H&M and the C&M. It's going to cut out as one big piece, the H, the pom-pom, and the M. And then if you're not happy with it, just go back and it'll, or I can't remember, I think you can unweld it. See, it's all one piece now. Well, it's not all one piece because the ING is going to cut out and the E is going to cut out in separate. Now I'm going to offset it. See how that looks. Now I haven't cut any of these out. I've got several designs, several homecoming designs with sports balls and different things that are all public for you guys. Like I said, some of them you have to have access, Cricut Access, and then some of them are free. So just keep that in mind. And then I've already offset them. So what you can do is it'll give you the option to edit your own, and you can make any changes you want to make, or you can just make it like it is. So you can resize it, you can make it your own. It's not going to affect mine at all. It lets you actually do it yourself. for you yourself, and your whatever you do to it is not going to affect what I have saved. And you want to make sure you save. I always try to save before I make something, because I have had issues where it like locked up or something and then I lost the whole design. So I try to save it before I even go to make it. But like I said, I didn't make any of these. I didn't want to waste. I spent a long time designing a bunch of these homecomings with the different sports and themes. So cutting them out too would have been a lot. And I didn't have a need for it. This was after homecoming. So I just make a couple of spaces. Sometimes it wants to put that period in there. I'm like, I don't want a period. So I did one capital. Now I'm doing one with a lowercase and see how that looks. And you can squish them closer together so some of the letters touch, so they will cut out touching. I hate when they cut out individual letters, because you have to be so precise about gluing them on the offset, making sure that you have them glued in the exact right position. I just love a font that's connected. It doesn't have to be like one connected piece. It can be like 2 or 3 or even 4 sections. It's just so much easier for me to glue the sections when you've got big groupings like that. So that's why you'll see me trying to attach them in different places so I can get it where it'll cut out in sections like that, where it's not each individual thing. And I took off the eye, so you can take off the eye and, use the pom-pom for the top of the eye. Just try different things out. That's what I do. I just experiment. I just play around, see what I like, see what I don't like. I wasn't 100% happy with all the designs I ended up with, but I did the best I could with what was free when I was, focusing on free ones for you guys, because I know there's some of you that's not going to have access. And then plus, if I save a bunch of them using Creative Fabrica fonts, they're probably not going to let you use those either. So I wanted to do some that I know anybody could have access to if they had Design Space. And I like to play around with the offsets too to see what I like. I like it with the lowercase letters better than the uppercase, but somebody might like the uppercase better. Megaphone. So you see the ones with the green, that's Cricut Access. You have to have Cricut Access for those. So you either have to have Cricut Access, or it'll say like 99 cents or something, and you can purchase that. But when you get to the point where you make it, it's going to make you buy that 99 cents or whatever it is. So you don't necessarily always have to have access. You may just have to pay for that individual one. I have some, like my favorites, bookmarked. Like that one. That was a favorite this year. I like to change up which. I'll use a couple of different megaphones each year, but I like to change it up too, so it's not the same megaphones every year. And I like that one. And when you're doing somebody's name, if you're doing a name cutout, remember, like on the eye, you can take that off and you can put like a megaphone or a cheerleader or a sports ball, senior cap, whatever you can think of up there, you could put. And then with the O's, I would put like a sports ball, different things like that. It looks really, really cute. And then you can also just put like a graduation cap or a megaphone or something somewhere, design it somewhere on top of the name. That looks good too. I did several of them this year. These are all great ideas that I get from TJ. She helps me with my cutouts, makes my cutouts so much better every year. So I got to give her a shout out every time I do a cutout video, because I wouldn't be where I was with my cutouts if it wasn't for her. So she deserves the recognition for sure. And she doesn't get enough recognition in this community. Not our community, our mummy community. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the whole of mum community. She doesn't get the recognition and respect that she deserves, and it drives me nuts, because she is just fabulous with, I mean, all of her mum skills, her braiding skills, her cutouts. I mean, she just a whole nother level, and it's just made me a better mum maker. Now, I'm scrolling through these fonts again, trying to find a decent one that I like. I do this with every name I make, unless they specifically say, I like this one that you made, and then I know which, I'll have to look and see what font that was. But I will scroll through different fonts because, Lily might look good with one font, and then, what's another name? Sally. I didn't make any mums with a Sally, but I'm just blank right now. But I mean, think about it though. I mean, those are completely different letters, and one name may look really, really good with one font, but then I won't like it with another name. Or I'm doing a guy's name and I want it to be kind of chunky, or I want it to be like more athletic and sports, So I like to scroll through the different fonts and find ones. I may want a fun and funky one. I may want one that's elegant. This is my process when I'm doing names too. I'm just going through and seeing what they look like. I just love having lots and lots of fonts and options. All right, I found a font that I really, really liked, and I put the name down there on the left-hand corner in case you couldn't see what that font was, and you want to look for it. So there's the megaphone. See how you can put that on top of the I. It's an option. You can turn it left or right, kind of, or you could go up and down with it. Just depends what you want to do with it. And it may not look good. You may not like it. You may want to try something else. Try a cheerleader. I believe I do make a cheerleader with it. So I'm duplicating this, shrinking that down. Now I'm going to offset it a little bit. And sometimes I'll try more than one and see how that looks. Because some of these, especially these pretty fonts, will be really thin in areas. And I don't want that. I want it a little bit thicker so it's going to cut better, because some of those can be really difficult to cut. They can mess up when you cut them if the letters are just too thin in places. So if you offset them just a little bit, it'll make them just a little bit wider, and it'll be so much easier to work with. That is another TJ tip that I got. And then you can hide contours. I don't know what it is about a couple of those fonts. When you offset them a little bit, it leaves little lines in some of the letters, so I have to go through the contour and take those out. Now I'm just going to play around with it, play around with the sizing of it, the direction of it, see if I like it. It's okay, not crazy about it. Not crazy about it as the dot on the I. I mean, you can make it really small, and then if you make it real small, then you may not be able to tell what it is. It's just, but to me, it's fun though. I like designing these things. I really enjoy this part of it. It's just fun to play around and come up with new designs. Looking how it would look if I took out the O and put a megaphone for the O. So see, I'm just going to play around and show some different things, and then what I like, I'll save. You know, some of them I would, like I said, I wasn't like crazy about, but if they looked pretty good, then I saved them because somebody else might like it. Now, I don't mind that. But I actually like the cheerleader that's jumping up with her knees bent. I like that one best for the dot on the eye. That's my favorite. But I want to give options. Now this is the one I wasn't crazy about. I saved it in case somebody else liked it, but it was a little weird to me. Now maybe when it gets cut out, maybe it'll look better, but I just was not crazy about it. And Make it smaller, offset it. And play around with your offsets too, like with the different layers. If you're only doing 2 layers, if you're doing 3 layers, 4 layers, play around and make them different. Don't make them all the same. Make them different and you'll get some really pretty cutouts that way. Like I'll do some that's like 0.1 and then I'll do some that's 0.2 or 0.2 and a half or 0.1 and a half. You know, just anywhere in those ranges usually is what I go with. And it just looks really pretty. That's the cheerleader I'm talking about, that one right there. That one's a pretty classic cheerleader pose you see on cutouts and stuff, and there's trinkets like that. So it's really common. Yeah, I decided to put her on the dot for the dot on the eye. Make it much better. Take out the dot, put her in the place. Get rid of that offset because I'm going to have to make a new offset. Make it bigger so I can actually see what I'm doing. And then figure out what size cheerleader. Now that will make the cutout taller because of having the cheerleader up there. So consider that. You may want to make her smaller, or you may not be able to do a cheerleader up there. Just depends on where you're putting the homecoming and how big you make the homecoming cutout. What is it going on? So you got to think about all that kind of stuff too. This was for a minimum. It would be like way too much probably. You'd have to do a small cutout, a small homecoming cutout. Now let's try offsetting it again. That's better. Still kind of weirded out by the megaphones. I'm still not sure that I like it. Somebody might. I don't know if I'll be using that one or not, but you are welcome to it. Again, making another one. I saved the original because I know you can go over to the right and you're supposed to be able to look what font was originally used, but I've had some that will not show me what font, especially ones that I worked on, you know, it was like a couple months earlier and somebody wants that exact font and I go over and it will not show me anymore. So I've gotten to where I save the original font, the original homecoming or whatever it is, and make it small. Make sure it's a different color than any of the others because I don't want it getting cut out. And then, you know, you can go over to the right and you can click the eye so you don't see it and then it won't cut out so you don't have to worry about it. But if I need to go back, I can click on that and I can see what the font is very, very easily. So I have been doing that. Like I said, I had stopped doing that because people told me, oh, you can click over the right and it'll, you know, scroll down and it'll tell you. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know why it doesn't all the time, but I had some problems with that last year and then I couldn't figure out which font I'd use. So to save myself some stress, I leave that original one down there. So before I group it together with anything and it won't let you change the font or change anything, I save that original. That's just my tip to you. It works for me. Maybe you don't feel like you need to, but I'm telling you, I sell a bunch of name custom cutouts and people are always like, I want that one. I want that one. I need to be able to go look really quickly what font I use. Saves me a lot of stress. So I talked all through that one. I just did the cheerleader for the eye. See, I like that. I think that looks really good. Just that little cheer. So you're getting cheer and homecoming together. So you're getting 2 in 1. You're showing 2 different things that they're into. You know, it's homecoming and then you're showing that they're a cheerleader. So I like that kind of thing. Doing a sports ball, like I said, I've got a whole bunch of them with sports balls. So go check out my profile and see what all I've got. See what you can access if you want. You're more than welcome to use these. I've already put in all the work, the time. Save yourself some time or just get inspired by it. If you like doing this like I do, get inspired and go design you a bunch of stuff, especially now before homecoming when you have time to prepare this stuff. Go make a bunch of stuff. You may not even use it all during homecoming, but it'll give you some options of some different things to use, and you won't have to worry about designing that stuff. You know, you may have to design names or monograms or whatever, but you can have this kind of stuff that's pretty generic and you can use on different mums, a lot of different mums. Here, I'm going to show you, like you could just add a megaphone somewhere on top of the word. I like doing that too, like I said, with graduation caps too, especially. All right, guys, this video is coming up to an end here. The last couple of minutes. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you get some use out of these. I hope you got some inspiration from it. Don't forget to go show me some love in the comment section and by clicking the like button. That doesn't take any time from you. Just to, show me a little bit of love like that. I would really, really appreciate it. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. I hope you all have a good homecoming season. This next season will be here before we know it. All right, guys, have a great one. Thanks for watching.